From Ashland, Oregon, home of William Shakespeare and progressive politics, and broadcasting live from the Southern Oregon University Digital Media Center and the RVTV studio, it's the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show, and recorded before a non-existent studio audience with a skeletal crew of certified public access producers. You can expect to see tonight's guests, whoever they may be, the Glamour Dave Comedy Players, and the Rogue Valley Public Access Orchestra. Now, here's your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow.
All righty. Well, hello, Rogue Valley. Welcome to another live edition of the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show. I'm your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow, and so we have a fun-filled plan for the evening. I'm going to have a couple of friends of mine from the local film industry, and I also have, once again, I have my wonderful co-host from Gems of the Rogue Valley, Cassandra Watts. She's my host sidekick for the evening, and so we can have Cassandra come on out.
Woo! Okay, we're supposed to be, where's our musical guest? The crew asked me to tap dance,
Yeah,
so we
okay.
have to come on.
All right.
Cheese,
Yeah,
cheese,
okay.
yes,
Yeah.
hello.
Well, yeah, no musical guest tonight.
Okay,
It's hard.
so we're singing.
Yeah, well, it's so hard to find, those musical guests for the role of the public access orchestra, being that we have no budget.
I know.
So
I know. It's just pencils. That's all we can give out, pencils. So if you want to come on, you'll get a special pencil.
yeah, we can't even upgrade to you in a pen.
I know,
So
it's just pencils.
It's just low budget. It's
Low budget.
Public access.
Pennies. We're in pennies.
Yeah.
Like pennies from heaven.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we got, and most of those pennies are in my baggies for the small cash prize.
Yes, small
right?
cash prizes.
Yeah, if someone can win by answering a trivia question, and I got a base of 28,000 trivia questions to pull from, so
You must have got them from Trivial Pursuit.
That's right, I did. Just about every Trivial Pursuit game that can be found used in the Rogue Valley, I got. So,
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so got a nice base of trivia questions to pull from.
All right.
So,
Should I plug in?
yeah, so you sit
All
down,
right, let me plug
in. And so my first guest for the evening is local film director Ray Robison. He is also the executive director for SOFAN, which is the Southern Oregon Film and Media Group, which I am also a member of. And it's the local film industry support group. We're going to talk about a couple of Ray's latest movie shorts and a TV series that he is involved in here locally. So Ray, come on into the studio.
Woo!
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so. Okay.
So I should probably plug in so people
Yeah.
hear what I
Yeah,
say.
That's right. So we'll
plug
plug in
in.
and sit down and get the show on the road. Okay. We don't have a budget for wireless mics and
But you have bottled water, so
yeah.
there's
Well,
a budget.
We've got water in our glamping chair.
that's
right,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're glamping.
So we try
very
to
glamorous in
we
our
try to
glamping
treat our
chair.
guests as well as we can, considering the zero budget that we have.
You're doing a nice job.
Well, thank you.
I'm quite comfortable. Actually, I think I have one just like this in my garage. So
Yeah. Well, these I got at Walmart. They were just around just shy of $10 a chair.
Yeah.
So, it took me a while to save that money too.
Yeah.
Being that I don't make any money doing this.
yeah. Well, not yet.
Questions to
Not
ask.
yet, though, right?
That's right. So.
Hint, hint, we need a budget.
Yeah. You can put up one of my Patreon lower thirds. To tell people how to become a patron supporter. For my show.
So what are you, like sleeping bag and then
Yeah.
I don't know, upgrade to the tent, up to
Okay.
the tent
Yeah.
status. I thought the God Mike was talking,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think I was.
And then you
upgrade.
upgrade to Mountaineer or something.
So, Ray, I wanted to invite you onto the show to talk about some of your latest film projects.
Right.
And because one of them recently has also gotten some award status at film festivals.
Yeah, I assume you're talking about An Affair Remains.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And that's going to be showing again next month in Montana with a little film festival there that oddly enough, I enter that one
Yeah.
because it's close to where my parents live.
Oh, okay.
And so I can
Well,
go
that's the
visit
reason.
them.
Yeah, that's the reason.
But that's what I've sort of discovered as I've done film festivals. You enter them, and then you can spend a lot of money going to them. Or you can do them places you would like to go to, or
Yeah.
places close by. So I just don't like sending a film out to a film festival if there's no way in the world I'm going to make it there.
Yeah,
So the screenings that we've had so far, with the exception of in Poland, it's screened in Poland, but the other three, there's always been somebody there to represent the film,
Well,
which
okay,
I
well,
really
that's
like.
good, yeah.
So, but this one, An Affair Remains, is one that was sort of a personal project. And I don't know if you've heard the whole setup on all this. Basically, I was in Japan a little over 2 years ago, and because my mom's Japanese, and most of
okay.
my family
Yeah.
on her side, well, all of our family on her side lives over there. So we're there visiting,
Yeah.
and we go into the sushi restaurant, my youngest son and my wife and myself, and we're having sushi there, and then the bill comes, and I put down a credit card, and the waiter comes by, takes it, and then he comes back and says something in Japanese, which my Japanese is horrible.
Right.
And I did pick out the word passport. And passport. And so I
Okay.
thought, so I turned to my wife, and said, he must need to see my passport because it's an American credit card.
Yeah.
And then this older gentleman, had sat down next to us, and he suddenly speaks up. Says, "Oh no, he doesn't need to see your passport. He just needs you to go to the front to pay." So I said, "Okay, thank you." And so I did, and I came back, and my son had started this conversation and discovered he was an actor, professional actor that had been in actually 4 Akira Kurosawa films. And I don't know if you
okay.
know Kurosawa, but he's
Yeah.
got an Lifetime Achievement Oscar
Yeah.
for the films he's directed. So at first I thought, okay, yeah, sure, you've been a spear holder in these films, whatever, but I always had principal roles, not leading roles, in 3 of those. And so I got his name, and I looked him up when I got back to our Airbnb we were staying at the time, and then I connected up with him on Facebook, and that just evolved into, I need to work with this guy that worked with Kurosawa.
Yeah, right.
So,
Wait a second. Was he working in the restaurant?
no, he was.
Oh,
He'd
okay,
come in
okay.
there to eat.
To eat. Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yeah, no, he
okay. I
wasn't
thought,
working
oh
there.
wow, waiter by day,
Yeah,
actor
yeah,
by night.
that
Oh,
usual
yeah,
thing.
sounds like my life.
No,
Okay,
he
no,
just
no.
came in there because he lived somewhere close to that neighborhood, I guess.
So is this actor is in that
Yes.
particular film?
Yeah, so it became this long progression of trying to figure out how do I bring an actor in from Japan to be in
Wow.
a film
Yeah.
so I can direct him. And in that way it was a very personal sort of reason. It wasn't like I was motivated to make a story. It was more I was motivated to work with an actor.
Wow.
So I did line him up with Marlon Mason. I've worked with Marlon in a number of
Yes, yes,
films,
yes.
and so she's got quite a background herself, as she calls it, her claim to fame being Elvis Presley's leading lady in The Trouble with Girls.
That's right, yeah.
And
That's
she's
right.
retired up here now. So I wrote a script for the 2 of them, and initially it was going to be a little bit of a love story. And then I remember at the Ashton Film Festival year before last, we were chatting about the script, and I think she said something, and all of a sudden it took this strange twist. The story did, and I said, no, this is going to be a film noir piece. So it evolved that way. Anyway, we managed to bring him in, and he and his agent and a translator, because even though he was able to speak with us, as
Yeah.
far at the restaurant, it's like, oh, he does speak English, but when you hand him a script in
Right.
English, it's not so easy. So
Right.
he had a translator that he felt comfortable with, and so she came along and she was helping with a lot of it, and partly too because she was able to pick up more what was going on
Yeah.
set, because
Right.
we're speaking English and we're speaking
Yeah.
it at a pretty fast pace unless you're a native speaker. So
Right.
she lived in the U.S. for a while, and so she would update him on some of the things going on that he wasn't picking up.
Okay.
So it was fun to work with someone that with that kind of experience.
And this film is a short.
This is a short. It's about
Okay.
14 minutes long.
Okay.
It-
Can
it-
you give us some?
well,
Well, we have a 1-minute clip.
We-
A 1-minute clip.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted
You
to
asked
give
for
us
1
a
minute.
little
Yeah, so-
summary. Okay, all right. Well, I guess.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of what to try to summarize the story. Basically, the way I always describe it to people is you're familiar with Neil Simon's Same Time Next Year.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay, you've got this couple that meet at this conference, and they're both married, but they come back, and every year, same time next year, they come back and they have this affair. So the
Okay.
concept is, what if this couple were to die in a car wreck later in their years, you know, later on, and then their spouses had to come and get their remains and meet each other, fully knowing that they had an affair. So that's basically what happens. And this clip starts out with them not really wanting to meet each other, but they've stumbled across and know who each other is, and they're sort of forced to sit down at this crowded
Yeah.
coffee shop and have this dialogue, and that sort of starts things off where they
wanna
find out
see
what's
the
going on with
Yeah,
it.
so let's,
So,
Now I'm
the
really
program can,
interested.
yeah, the program can bring up that clip and we'll check it out.
Yay.
Did you ever think of getting back at her and having an affair of your own?
No.
Well, I did. And I did. Oh, here comes the tow truck.
Yeah, you're gonna need a whole new engine.
No, all it needs is a new starter.
Look, I've been doing this a long time, lady.
Listen, I may not look like your typical gearhead, but I know cars. That one needs a new starter.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I can drive you anywhere you want.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Wow.
when I checked that out earlier, I really liked how your actress really, I mean, she like just, in that just short moment, she really put the tow truck driver in his place.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. It's,
right.
and that tow truck driver is Roy Raines, a local
Yeah,
actor as
yeah,
well, and,
yeah.
and so I've always wanted to work with Roy, and it was nice to finally have that opportunity. It's
Yeah.
a fairly small role, but a good chance to work with him. He's very talented. So, and from there it goes on where they go to the crash site where their spouses had died, and some things are revealed. So,
so right now you can only really see this in film festivals. You can't see this online yet, or
right, yeah. And
Okay.
until it's really done its film festival run, I won't put it out there
Okay.
for people to see, you know, unless they have a password and a link to where it is. And we'll do another year probably, you know, because
Great.
I've got it submitted to a lot of film festivals at this point.
Nice.
We showed it at Rhode Island, which we have a nice relationship with them, and that's where I got an award for that,
Nice.
a Best Director award for that.
Excellent.
And then Masayuki Yui, who's the actor in that, has been nominated for Best Actor for the Flathead Lake International Film Festival, the one in Montana, close to
Yeah.
where my parents live. So we'll see what happens with that, and see what else comes along with film festivals. So you know, it was fun to do. I'm glad to see it done, and we'll see where we go from there.
Cool, yeah. And so now another movie that you've done recently is Two on a Match.
Right,
correct?
right.
Right. And now what's that particular story about?
That particular story is sort of based on the fact that I am a father. I have two sons, and that I think you know, in life you start getting to that point where that realization comes to you when you have children, that you truly would die for your child. So that's really where that concept evolved, and the premise is that this man needs to save his son's life, and he needs a transplant, and we never specify what it is, whether it's heart or brain, whatever. Imagine the heart, but he needs to find a match to his son in order to save his son's life, and the only way he can figure out to do that is to, because he can't find a match, is to create a match by killing someone who's a match. So that's the concept
Ooh,
on
okay,
this.
getting a
And
little
You've got all
dark there.
these twisty plots
Yeah.
going on. And is this one also a short?
It is. It's I think about 12 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gravitated to shorts lately. I don't know why. At least as far as the one that I direct, I've been doing more shorts lately.
Okay.
But I've worked on some features as well that are on the production side. But yeah, this one's a short, and I think just with my current schedule these days, being able to put together a short has been very comfortable to do. But
Right.
hopefully in a couple of years I'll get some more features going. Just take advantage of the opportunities that come along.
And we have a clip for that as well.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Another 60 seconds.
Another 60 seconds.
So yeah, control room can bring that up. We'll check that out.
Roll it.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to say goodbye to your mother.
Linda? Linda? Linda!
Mom, just listen.
God.
Mom,
Where
I
are
love
you?
you. Please just listen. I don't have long.
What are you
Tell Dad I
talking
love
about?
him. And
Just
Zach,
give us
tell
the
Zach I'm sorry
address.
for what you know.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So the actors in that were
Michael Meyer.
Right.
Everyone around here knows Michael
Yeah,
Meyer.
that's right, yeah.
He's been around for quite a while and
Yeah.
done a lot of work. And I've worked with Michael a lot. I think probably the majority of projects I work on, he's involved with in some way. He
Yeah.
was in Besetment, which was a feature that has been doing pretty well. It's it was on Redbox and a horror film, but that one was actually originally cast for an actor out of Portland, and then negotiations with his agent sort of fell through, and we were scrambling.
Yeah.
I think less than a week, a couple weeks before production was scheduled to begin. So we were trying to find someone for this role, and I said, I think Michael Meyer would be good for this one.
Yeah.
So I ran down to his place and recorded an audition, and the director saw it and liked it, and so he got that role, and we spent a few weeks in Central Oregon filming that film, Besetment. So, but I think Michael was in a couple of my features, Six is the One-Eyed King and Vampire Camp. He was in both of those as well. So I really,
Vampire Camp.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
did
had
Vampire
friends in
Camp.
Vampire
Yeah,
Camp.
how does that compare to these other ones? I
don't
try
know,
to
I
be
think that's a
eclectic about
classic.
all this.
I think Vampire Camp is a classic.
so and the actress that was in that.
Sierra Dunsell.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, actually, if you look her up on IMDb, she actually has quite a history as a child actor down in LA. And then when I first met her, she really, that life of auditioning and trying to, find work down there. I guess you probably do know this.
I was there, yes.
So she decided to move back up here where she had roots and sort of leave that all behind. But she was still interested in doing some acting, though I think really she's so busy now with everything else going on, it's kind of tough to tie her down. But she was available for that short, and I think she's taking some classes and moving forward with her life,
Sure,
just knowing
sure.
that how tough it is to make a living as an actor.
Oh, it can be, yes.
So,
Yes, I mean,
right.
look at me, I'm on low budget here.
Yes, but you're a great benefit to me, my dear. So that's why I have you here. So I rely on that experience of yours to guide me. So now, what's the latest thing that you're doing is a local TV series called The Stamp?
It's actually not local. It's out of Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
And it's that's where basically the money's coming from. That's where the director lives.
Okay.
But I've having known and worked with him for quite a while, I've always been encouraging him to come and film in this area.
Yeah, it's a great
Talk
area.
about all the talent we
Yeah,
have here.
yeah.
And in other projects I've worked with him, and I've worked with him on, the first one was The Settling, which was a short. No, actually before that it was a short film called Big, and then The Settling, which is another short film, and then Besetment, Between the Trees, and then he came up with this concept and thought he was going to shoot it here, because by that time I brought in a lot of local crew, and he started meeting some of the local crew that we have here as well as some of the actors. Like I said, Michael had worked on that, and Marlon Mason, he'd worked with her too.
Yeah.
So he did decide to do it locally up at Hyatt Lake.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
And so we shot up there for 3 weeks, and the original script was going to be a feature film.
Okay.
But then he decided he'd rather turn it into pilot episodes, 2 episodes for a series, with the hope of picking it up, by one of the many streaming services out there. And there's some that he's looking at. Everyone goes for Amazon and Netflix, but there are smaller ones where he feels like he could get a foothold in much easier.
Right. Yeah.
And I know his ability to get out there and sell something. I think he's going to do a good job with that. So hopefully that'll happen. There'll be more work and more people being hired. But one of the things that really pleased me, really, one of the things that really pleased me is he was going to bring on a number of the actors for some of the other smaller but featured roles and bring them up for LA for just a couple days. But then with the budget getting tighter, he said, let's cast this locally. So we did, and I would say tremendously pleased with, he was, as I was, with the actors that we managed to find locally to do this.
Sure.
Clive Rosengren, who, as he posted on Facebook shortly after that, was a recovering actor falls off wagon, because he had not done anything for 20 years. But he'd been in a lot in LA. He'd done a lot of work. He was in Ed Wood and all kinds of TV series.
Nice.
So he came in there really for the lead roles. Actually, is how it worked out.
Well,
and Mark Schneider, who'd done a lot in LA but had moved up to this area. So it was really nice how much local talent we were able to use.
There really is,
and then if this thing gets picked up, we'll definitely keep moving in that direction.
Could you give us just a small summary about what the STEM is about?
The STEM is, if you just sort of look at the basic story, it's nothing too unusual.
Okay.
FBI agent
really?
is looking for a missing girl.
Okay.
Her car crashes. She gets taken in by this older couple, and the mystery ensues, and the older couple are kind of unusual. And
Like
she doesn't
aliens?
know, well, not like aliens, no.
Come on, aliens are fun.
But so anyway, but what we're left with after the end of 2 episodes is not knowing if you're starting to suspect that maybe they actually kidnapped this girl, or they have this girl, they know where the girl is. You think that one of them might be crazy, or maybe both are crazy. So we have been comparing it to Twin Peaks because of the unusual characterization, which I think is really the strength in this series, is the characters.
Sure.
It's seeing what Marlon was able to do with this role, and what Clive's been able to do with this role as well, has been pretty fun. So we'll see where it goes.
And we're stayed tuned, right? Because it's not quite out yet on the
Right.
on
It's
the
well,
web
I
yet.
did see. It's not being edited locally. It is being edited down in L.A. I did see the opening scene, so the first about 4.5 minutes, and that's looking really good. And I say that that's even before Marlon's and Clive's character even come into the film at that point. So it's just sort of setting it up. But still, it's looking good. And it'll take a while,
Yeah,
as everyone that does much editing knows, it takes some time.
Yeah.
But then, in the meantime, we'll see what other projects happen. But I'm hoping that we will be continuing on with further episodes of The STEM.
Yeah, cool.
Before too
Well,
long.
Fantastic.
Ray, I really appreciate your coming
Yeah.
on to talk about your projects.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're kind of coming close to the end of this segment, and I have a little bit of some stupid comic stuff to offer.
Okay.
This is an audition,
We'll let
by the way.
we'll let
So-
Cassandra answer all those questions.
So we can do right now, we have a choice of doing an awkward moment, or you can toot your own horn, and you can pick your choice of a horn to toot your horn by.
Okay.
Or you can answer a trivia question and have a chance to win
Oh, I want to win.
a small cash prize of 100 pennies.
And that, that can
what
go
I could
towards your budget.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, you got to answer a trivia question.
About an awkward moment.
Yeah. I've got like movies, Harry Potter, the 2000s, and Sex and the City TV show for a question.
We have to go fast. We've
Yeah.
got 2 minutes.
Okay. I don't know. What was the first one?
Movies. You want to do the movies?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see what I know.
Yeah, okay.
What can come to my head right now, anyway.
So, this is a trivia question. The following question comes to us via Gmail from the show's ancestral home of the Nienow clan in Mapleton, Minnesota. Crater Lake is the 5th oldest national park in the United States and the only national park in Oregon. The lake is 1,949 feet deep at its deepest point, making Crater Lake the deepest lake in the United States and the 9th deepest in the world. Your trivia question is, how many chariots started the race in 1959's Ben-Hur?
All of them.
There were quite a few.
I'm right, aren't I? All of them started it.
Well,
They didn't all finish.
They all started, but there was a
Okay,
number.
where's my 100 pennies?
Right. Yeah, you better give us
answer.
your pennies.
I don't know. If I were just to guess, I'd go like 8 or more.
Yeah, well, the answer was 9.
9? Oh.
Yeah.
Or I did or more. So I'm
Well,
good there
for
too.
that, I think that's pretty
Okay.
close. I'll
Well,
give you 100 pennies.
all right.
That'll help you out.
And
on
maybe
your
I'll
next budget.
donate the 100 pennies back to this show. Maybe, but I'll have to think about that.
Well,
He's a donor now.
yeah, that's right. Well, Ray, I appreciate you coming on. And I want to thank the crew and everyone for helping with